A man robbed two banks in broad daylight. No mask, no disguise, and a big smile for the cameras. He thought that lemon juice made him invisible. This isn't a joke. It's the beginning of a shocking psychological discovery. The man who thought lemon juice made him invisible and what it revealed about all of us. In 1995, something bizarre happened in Pittsburgh. A man robbed two banks in broad daylight. He didn't wear a mask or any kind of disguise. In fact, he looked directly at the security cameras and smiled before walking out confidently with the stolen cash. Naturally, the police arrested him the same night. But what stunned the officers wasn't the ease with which they found him. It was what he said while being handcuffed. The man mumbled in confusion, genuinely surprised that he had been caught. Why? Because he believed he was invisible to security cameras. His logic? He had smeared lemon juice on his face, thinking it would make him undetectable. He reasoned that since lemon juice is used as invisible ink, it would somehow also make his face invisible to surveillance systems. This wasn't a prank or the result of drugs or mental illness. The man was simply wildly misinformed, but confident, the birth of a theory. This odd event caught the attention of two psychologists, David Dunning and Dunning-Kruger. What fascinated them wasn't just the robber's poor reasoning, it was his confidence. How could someone be so wrong and yet so sure of himself? To explore this further, they conducted a series of experiments. They asked undergraduate students to complete tests on grammar, logical reasoning, and humor. After the tests, students were asked to estimate their own scores and compare themselves to others. The results were shocking. The least skilled students dramatically overestimated their performance. Many believed they had scored above average when they were actually among the worst. The most skilled students, on the other hand, slightly underestimated their performance. They assumed that because the test felt easy to them, it must have been easy for everyone else too. This cognitive bias became known as the Dunning-Kruger effect. What is the Dunning-Kruger effect? In simple terms, the Dunning-Kruger effect explains that people with low ability tend to overestimate their competence. People with high ability tend to underestimate theirs. Why? Because the skills you need to do something well are often the skills you need to judge how well you're doing it. If you lack those skills, you're not just bad at the task, you're also bad at recognizing how bad you are. Confidence and competence, a strange relationship. Visualize it like this. Imagine a graph that shows confidence on the vertical axis and competence, actual skill, on the horizontal axis. When someone first learns a little about a topic, their confidence spikes. This is known as Mount Stupid. As they learn more, their confidence plummets into the valley of despair, where they start realizing how much they don't know. With continued learning and experience, confidence slowly begins to rise again, this time grounded in true expertise. Real-life examples. You can see the Dunning-Kruger effect in action during talent show auditions like American Idol. Contestants with poor singing abilities often believe they're amazing. When rejected, they react with genuine shock. It also shows up in everyday life. 88% of drivers believe they're better than average, which is mathematically impossible. 94% of professors think they're better than their peers. Many people rate themselves as above average in intelligence, leadership, and even sense of humor. We tend to overrate ourselves, especially in areas we know little about. Why does it happen? Let's take an example. Meet Mike, an amateur photographer. Mike knows a few camera tricks and basic lighting setups. He believes he understands most of what there is to know about photography, say 90%. Now, meet Lisa, a professional photographer with 7 years of experience. She knows far more than Mike, but also realizes there's a vast world of advanced techniques, art theory, and evolving technology she hasn't mastered yet. She estimates her knowledge at 70%. Mike is confident because he doesn't know what he doesn't know. Lisa is more humble because she's aware of the field's complexity. Ironically, Mike might seem more self-assured even though he knows less. How to avoid falling into the trap? So, how can we avoid becoming victims of the Dunning-Kruger effect? Stay curious. The more you learn, the more you'll realize how much there is still to learn. Seek feedback. Find mentors, peers, or experts who can show you your blind spots. Challenge your assumptions. Just because something seems simple doesn't mean it is. Be humble. Confidence is good, but overconfidence can lead to costly mistakes. Even in the original Dunning-Kruger study, students who were the most misinformed were able to improve their self-assessments after just a little tutoring. Awareness and guidance go a long way. Final thought. The Dunning-Kruger effect isn't just a psychological curiosity, it's a reminder of the limits of our own understanding. The next time you feel 100% certain that you're right, ask yourself, do I know enough to know how little I know? True wisdom often begins with realizing you don't have all the answers.
And if you're curious how ordinary people are turning bold ideas into real income and freedom, you'll find everything you need in the link in my bio. Because the future won't wait, and neither should you.